Yeah. Yeah.
Hey everyone, it's Enjoy English School. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Antony.
Today it's day 2 of our 2-day article on No Prices Here, the article on lentils as anything.
没错，我们要继续跟各位介绍 Lentils as Anything 这家餐厅。各位昨天的还记得吗？我们昨天提到说这家餐厅呢非常非常暖心，它有提到这种 Pay what you can， 好，就代表你付多少，能付得起多少就付多少。这家餐厅，那基本上我自己当初觉得是这家餐厅应该会倒，事实上它不只是没有倒，而且还开了很多家分店。而且他还有做了非常非常多不一样的事情，其中包括了去让很多的这种街友啦，或者是难民有机会在餐厅里面工作，照顾了社会的弱势人群。除了这个之外呢，他对环境也负了责，里面所有的这种餐点都是素食餐厅。那我们今天要继续介绍更多跟着餐厅有关的内容。
All right, let's jump right into paragraph 1 today. The Lentils as Anything restaurant has successfully used the pay what you can business model for nearly 20 years.
好，接下来我们看第一段的第一句话，他告诉你说，他用这种商业模式存活了多久？他说 ，The Lentils as Anything restaurant， 好，这家餐厅呢 has successfully used the pay what you can business model for nearly 20 years， 好，几乎快要开满20年了，所以可见他在这个商业模式之下，持续这样存活了非常非常久的时间。
It has to be 20 years now because Lentils as Anything opened in the year 2000. And I don't know when it opened, but like 20 years. That's a crazy long time. I remember day 1, Anthony asked, can this business be successful? And I guess so. They've been around 20 years. I think like half of the restaurants ever opened closed within 5 years. These guys have been around for 20. That's pretty awesome.
老师刚刚那边提到说，大部分的餐厅开了5年之内，会倒掉一半。所以在这里的话，一家餐厅能够开了20年，可见它真的很厉害。
Absolutely. Lentils as Anything provides over 1,000 free meals a week to people in need, and most of the produce used by the restaurant is donated.
好，这边他提到一下 Lentils and Anything 他做的一些事情哦，其中呢包括了他说他其实一周哦，他会提供这种1000个这种餐点，让这些没有办法负担得起任何食物的人，他们可以吃得饱。光这件事情就觉得是这种人间的这种善举了，对不对？而且呢，第二件事情就是他大部分的这种农产品呢，很多都是捐赠来的，所以也有机会让他支持者可以继续做这样的善事。
Let's continue with paragraph 1. Lentils as Anything, however, is an exception to the rule. Underline this. Exception to the rule.
Exception to the rule 意思就是这个规则的例外，所以他说这 Lentils as Anything, however, 好 is an exception to the rule， 意思就是它呢就是这个规则的这个例外。
So, 我要说到这个 the exception to the rule. There's a very popular, very common idiom. 一个英文的片语叫 the exception proves the rule. Now, 通常 prove, P-R-O-V-E 的意思是证明 but 其实那个 prove 好久以前是另外一个意思。When we prove something, it meant to give a test, 比较测试 to test the rule. 不是那个很多人现代的人的意思觉得 the exception 说嘿你看那个规则是正确不对它是例外他们怎么可以告诉你你看 the exception is correct 不对了 right it doesn't make sense so the exception proves the rule means that the exception was testing the old rule will it stand up? Will it stay strong even if you have exceptions?
OK， 所以这边老师提到的 exceptions prove the rule， 意思就是指说它呢这些例外能够去测试到底这个规则是真的，是不是经得起考验的。所以这个 prove 它指的是 test， 去测试考验的意思。
小心 because you'll see a lot of the exception proves the rule.And 大部分的人用错了 so please be careful of that phrase here. Most restaurants that try to use this business model go out of business. Others quickly change to regular pricing.
好，所以在这边我们提到 the rule exception to the rule， 你大定会好奇说到底是什么规则呢？好，后面就告诉你了。Most restaurants that try to use this business model， 这个地方你帮我先把 that 这个地方还有到 business model 框起来，所以你就会知道 most restaurants 整句话的意思是 most restaurants go out of business。然后中间这个地方呢，这个 that 一直到这个 business model 就是来修饰这个 restaurant， 就是大部分选择使用这种 pay what you can 这种做法的这些餐厅呢，都倒店了。这个是他们的 rules。Others quickly changed to regular pricing。那其他人试过这个方法，发现到哇不实用哎，很多人吃了不付钱呢，或付很少钱，这样子的话收支不平衡呢，很快他们就回到正常的收钱的这种标准，好定价的标准。所以说事实上他们就提到说 ，lentils as anything 真的是后面这项铁则的一个例外。
So lentils as anything actually almost did the opposite thing. When they first opened, for the first 2 weeks, their menus had prices, but they learned that people would not pay very much more than the price on the menu. When they took the prices off the menu, then people felt more willing to pay more.
所以说它刚好呢，这个 lentils as anything 刚好是反过来。我们刚刚是提到说，很多餐厅是先用这种方式去做，没有价格，到后来最后不行了，再把价格放上去。lentils as anything 刚好相反，最开始开店的前2周呢，它是选择是把这个价格先放上去了。后来发现到说，今天有放价格的时候，大家比较不愿意多付，后来他们就把价格拿掉了，从菜单上拿掉之后，大家开始愿意多付钱了。
Let's get ready for paragraph 2. Welcome back to Enjoy English School, and we're talking about day 2, lentils as anything. Let's begin our second paragraph here. There are many challenges that come with the pay what you can business model.
好，接下来我们就要看看到底开这样的餐厅会碰到什么样的困难。我相信各位你一定在想的时候就想说，一定会有一些困难点，对吗？所以第一句话就告诉你说 ，There are many challenges that come with the pay what you can business model。要使用这种随喜付费的这种方式来运作这种生意模式的话呢，基本上会碰到许多的挑战。那这些挑战有哪些呢？我们往下看。
Remember, we can't say there have. 在那个 R 上面谁 have 擦掉 there have 完全没有意思。Our next sentence says, first, most people will pay less than what the food actually costs.
第一点 first 好，这个地方帮我把 first 先这种圈起来哦。很多时候你要去条列式的时候，你就有机会看到这种 transitions， 告诉你说接下来我要做什么。首先第一点 first 好，这个地方圈起来 ，most people will pay less than what the food actually costs。好，基本上食物的成本就已经在那边了，可是很多人付费，他明明吃了大概150块的食物，他只付50块，你就是现亏100块，对不对？很多人会做，如果很多人做这样的事情的话，你就会亏本，这是第一个挑战。
Remember, because we pay money, money is uncountable. We have to say pay more or pay less. 不可以用 many or fewer, okay? So less 下面我们写 fewer, 擦掉。Our next sentence says, also, restaurants that open in areas with lots of young people will likely struggle.
OK， 第二件事情 also 一样把它圈起来，因为我们碰到一个 transition 转折词，所以我们就知道说，当你今天讲到第一个论点，要换到第二个论点讲的时候，加一个转折词，会让这个读者听起来、看起来会觉得很清楚，你要讲第二点了。Also, restaurants that open in areas with lots of young people. 如果你开的餐厅是在年轻人很多的地方的话，你也知道年轻人可能钱比较没有那么多，对不对？所以他们能付的钱也比较少。这样子的话呢，这个餐厅就会 will likely struggle， 就会面临这种生存的困难。Will likely 就是很有机会会怎么样 ？struggle 挣扎，也就是你可能慢慢发现到，怎么入不敷出啊，然后最后就倒闭。
Maybe you know the phrase in English.The struggle is real. You'll hear that a lot if you watch a lot of American television.
The struggle is real. 在那个美国电视影集里面常常会看到这样的说法哦。
Since young people usually don't have much money, they tend to pay very little or nothing at all.
好，所以呢，他告诉你原因了。Since 这个地方指的是 because 的意思，因为呢，年轻人 usually don't have much money， 就像我刚刚所讲的，年轻人没什么钱 ，they tend to do something， 他们就有倾向会做后面这件事。什么事呢 ？Pay very little， 付的比较少 ，or nothing at all， 是完全不付，吃完就走。
Let's talk about some research into pay what you can restaurants.
好，我们来看看这个关于这种 pay what you can 随喜付费这种餐厅相关的一些研究吧。
So some research shows that 20% of customers pay nothing.
哇，1/5%、20%的人吃完就是不付费，像是吃霸王餐一样啊。
Yeah, but to be fair, the researchers said that's actually really good. They thought many more people would pay nothing.
啊，他如果说今天其实上这个比例还不算高，甚至他有人觉得说可能会不付钱的比例会高过于20%。
So they thought it was very good that only 20% paid nothing.
哦，OK。
Other studies show that guests pay the most right after a new pay what you can restaurant opens.
哦，所以说在餐厅刚开张的时候，会付最多钱的这些顾客都会来，然后意思就是随着这样时间往下了之后，慢慢会付大钱的人就慢慢就少了。
And probably my favorite, there is a pay what you can restaurant in Denver, Colorado, in America, and the owner, Libby Berkey, knows there are regular customers who eat and never pay and never help. She will yell at these people and embarrass them. But actually, research shows that most people want to pay.
OK， 所以说老师提到这个科罗拉多州丹佛市这个地方有开了一家这个 Pay What You Can 的餐厅，然后后来这里面的这个餐厅的这个老板呢，有看到那种吃饭不付钱的，就会大声斥他们：“你又来吃免钱的了，你这家伙！”这样子。但是还好，就是所有的这个研究显示，就是说大部分人来吃都还是会付钱的。
Let's get ready for paragraph 3. All right, welcome back to Enjoy English School. Let's look at paragraph 3. Fortunately, there are paths to success.
好，接下来就说 ，Fortunately， 好家在幸运的是什么呢 ？There are paths to success， 还是有机会通往成功的道路的，只要你要找到它。
Ooh, pick up your highlighter, okay? Look at the word fortunately. 画到那个 A-T-E. Now, A-T-E in English has two sounds. Ate, 当然是那个你吃东西的过去式 ate 长 A. 那个 A-T-E 也有那个 it 的发音. Listen to how I say this word. Fortunately. 当我们的 A-T-E 有长 A, ate, that means this word is a verb. If you hear 那个短 I 的发音 fortunately, this means the word is an adjective, a noun, or an adverb. And of course here, fortunately is our ADV. Fortunately just means happily.
Yeah， 没错，有的时候你会讲 luckily， 好，这种说法也是可以的。好 ，fortunately， 如果你发现到 fortunately， 当你在考试的时候拼的时候不好拼，你就拼 luckily 就好了，就是 lucky 去 y 加上就变成 i， 然后再加 ly， 这样子也比较简单。他就说了，好，很幸运的是呢，还是有机会能够成功。
Some restaurants set minimum prices.
Some restaurants set minimum prices. Minimum 指的意思是最低的门槛。有些餐厅呢，他们会设定最低。你说啊，你今天吃这一餐，你最少要付100块，低消吧，好，至少如果你愿意多付很好，然后你至少要付100块，这就是这个 minimum prices， 好，就是最低的消费。
That's what Lentils as Anything tried at first, but it didn't work for them. But that doesn't mean it won't work for another restaurant.
OK， 所以说这是当初 Lentils as Anything 他所试过的做法，但是这个做法呢，对 Lentils as Anything 没有效果，但这个方法并不表示对其他的这个餐厅是没有效果的。
Others accept labor, that means work, labor or volunteering as payment.
好，其他餐厅呢还有试过用不同的方式，比方说今天说好，你今天没钱是吧？没关系，你留下来洗碗嘛。所以这边的话 ，labor 就是指付出劳力，或是 volunteering， 好是志工服务来当做是付费。
So above labor, please write the word work, W-O-R-K, 然后画到那个 O-R 在 labor 的后面，不是 L-A-B-E-R, okay? This is so famous in movies. There's always like, oh, 忘记我的钱包. And then like the husband and wife are washing the dishes.
对
Like, have you ever seen that?
有
But, really? 你看过
我看过类似的那种，对，留下来
Like you
洗
did
碗。
That's like such a famous thing, but it's pretty funny that this really happens. I think that's a good option for like maybe like homeless people or some really poor students. Like you can work for your meal. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Also, teaming up with other organizations can help attract generous customers.
好，除了这个之外呢，他就告诉你 also， 我们又碰到了一个 transition 转折词了，对不对？好，又告诉你要另外一个论点，他怎么做 ？Teaming up with other organizations， 这个 team up with 就是 work with， 就是跟人家合作，所以他跟其他的一些机构去一起合作，这种方式。Can help attract generous customers， 有机会能够吸引到比较大方、比较慷慨的这些顾客来用餐。所以说，今天如果你吸引到几个比较大方一点的人，你就有机会打平你的这个收支。
Maybe you heard Anthony and I said this G-E-N-E-R-O-U-S word differently. I say generous. Anthony just said
generous.
Both are fine. I always hear students ask what's the correct way, and the answer is 都可以. Our next line says, for example, a cafe in Los Angeles has partnered with a local church.
好，接下来就告诉你一些其他的例子喽。好 ，for example， 举例来说吧。好 ，a cafe in Los Angeles， 好，在这个 LA 的一家这个咖啡店呢 ，has partnered with a local church， 跟当地的一个教堂一起合作。
Sometimes the cafe's customers will even pay over $100 American for a cup of coffee. Girl, you crazy.
就是给你100块的这个美金，说不用找了哦，好开心啊！没错，所以这句话就说了 ，Sometimes the cafe's customers， 有的时候会碰到这种特别大方的顾客，怎么样呢？Will even pay over 超过100块美金，也就是大概一次付了3000块放在这个柜台上面，说我点一杯咖啡，然后剩下的不用找了，那种感觉真的是很暖心，对不对？
在我大计程车 like 那个我大计程车95块，我给他100 ，I'm like 那个5块钱没关系。
呀，这种感觉的没有错，
有点不一样，
不太一样。
Yeah, I like seeing videos when people give like a huge tip. That's so wonderful. I wish I could do that. I don't have $100 for coffee, though. I'm sorry. Our final paragraph says, while the pay what you can business model is challenging, it's not impossible.
好，最后他就告诉你了 ，while 又是这样子了 ，while 就是比较两件事情，对不对？我们来看第一件事情 ，while the pay what you can business model is challenging， 即便说这样随喜付费的这种方式，这种生意模式呢 ，is challenging， 充满了诸多的挑战。It's not impossible。第二件事情出来，但是充满挑战，并不代表达不到目标，并不代表活不下去。It's not impossible， 就是 it's possible。
Like most noble goals, there will probably be lots of difficulties along the way.
就像所有那种崇高的目标跟理想一样，你在达成目标的路上，一定会碰到许多的困难跟险阻。在这个地方，他说 there will probably be lots of difficulties 就是碰到的困难，有机会提到困难的话，你会提到 challenges, difficulties， 好，都可以使用这样的说法。Along the way 就是一路上。
Pick up your highlighter and make sure you highlight there will 还有 be plus our noun here difficulties.
这边这是很重要的字汇 ，there will be 相关的用法 ，there will be difficulties， 会有路上会有困难跟险阻 along the way.
Let's get ready for our vocabulary review. All right, here we are with vocabulary review. Our first phrase today is to go out of business.
To go out of business 就是倒闭、关店的意思。
Number 2, to tend to do something.
To tend to do something 就是有倾向会做这样的事情，或是拿出这样的行为。
Number 3, fortunately.
Fortunately 就是幸运的是，好在是怎样？
不是 fortunately. Number four, to partner with somebody or something.
To partner with somebody or something 就是跟后面的人或者事情去合作。
And number five, noble.
Noble 就是非常非常神圣、崇高的 noble 这样的意思。
All right, well, we are out of time today at Enjoy English School. We will check you next time. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Antony.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
第30页专题特写，价格任你开的澳洲暖心餐厅。
No prices here. The Lentils as Anything restaurant has successfully used the pay what you can business model for nearly 20 years. Lentils as Anything, however, is an exception to the rule. Most restaurants that try to use this business model go out of business. Others quickly change to regular pricing. There are many challenges that come with the pay what you can business model. First, most people will pay less than what the food actually costs. Also, restaurants that open in areas with lots of young people will likely struggle. Since young people usually don't have much money, they tend to pay very little or nothing at all. Fortunately, there are paths to success. Some restaurants set minimum prices. Others accept labor or volunteering as payment. Also, teaming up with other organizations can help attract generous customers. For example, a cafe in Los Angeles has partnered with a local church. Sometimes the cafe's customers will even pay over $100 for a cup of coffee. While the pay-what-you-can business model is challenging, it's not impossible. Like most noble goals, there will probably be lots of difficulties along the way.